Now friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here. Got a little video for you today. I'm in the mines of Nurga with my enchanter. I spent some time in here on blue on the enchanter and quite enjoyed it. I generally kind of, we're at the entrance, I generally kind of avoid the goblin section. From what I can remember, I think pretty much, I don't think any of the goblins see through invis, so, but we will check on the way. But it was the, if you go to the west, the Burynai section, I seem to remember you can fall down here and not die. Yes, you can. Yeah, the Burynai, whatever you want to call it, pronounce it, section, is where I normally go. You get warriors and clerics, which are fairly easy to deal with. A lot of, they might be green actually now, but I don't think they will be. As I said, I'm pretty sure that most of the, I'm pretty sure that all of the goblins do not see through invis, so, but we will make our way through. I mean there are some. I have fought the goblins before when I was a bit lower level, and you do get some named ones. So oops, I think it's all starting to appear. Yeah, I'm assuming the goblins are all KOS, irrespective of what race you are. That's goblins for you. There we go. You don't often see a, or I must say I don't often see a short invis, but it will happen now and again, particularly, obviously, when you're in a tricky situation and you least expect it. And I think what I normally do, or I've done in the past, is just fall down there. You take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. Little goblin slaves here have actually got their own little magician pets, which is quite interesting. Yep, seems okay. I think this should be north. Is this north? I'm not sure. I'm not on that bit. I'm not sure about anyone else, but I do. I think we go round here to another section. Yeah, I remember this section now. There are some. Whenever you come across a different type of goblin, just con it. Slinkers. No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. So we will go up this slope. Bone charmers. I'm kind of taking a risk, but it's not really a risk. I'm pretty sure that these mobs don't see through invis. It's northeast. I think we need to go past these dudes. No. I think it's across here. Kind of got. I think this might be a section where a named spawns at some point. But again, I can't. It might be in this tent actually. I'm not quite sure if it drops anything decent, but I'm just trying to make sure that if it is a named that's up, then it's not one that's going to jump on me, see through invis. You will come across. At some point soon we'll come across, there's like a spider section as well. I hope I'm going the right way. I think I am. Yeah, some spiders. Now one of the spiders I believe does see through invis, but they're kind of they're kind of off in chambers of their own. I think there's a cleric spider that maybe sees through invis. Yeah, Strathbone, there we go. I think it's a cleric as well. So watch out for that dude. There's also a little ogre around here, if I remember rightly. Or there is an ogre mob that ends up being part of a quest, I think. Now, where? You can also get to the Temple of Droga, or Droga this way, however you want to pronounce it. Well, through this dungeon. Where I think a lot of people are at them. Oh, here we go. The rock shapers. Oh, there's a nice start. Look at that. 2 rock shapers. The rock shapers are warriors. And then as we go further down, oh, they're all warriors. That's a nice setup, and they're all blue as well. So memory served me well there with regards to killing these dudes. Now, I have to confess, it's really not the most interesting of camps by a long shot. I think what I'm going to do at this point, because faction is just irrelevant, I think for all of our benefits, I'm going to we're going to put on Dark Elf Illusion. I've noticed while playing, since they did a lot of the changes with regards to lighting and darkness and stuff, that it's just it's dark. You know, it's really dark. And I find myself using either Dark Elf Illusion or what have I done? Oh, for God's sake. Newbie mistake. My rampage is on after rune. Newbie mistake. But I don't want to, you know, remove the rune to replace it. So we'll just go with what we got at the moment. So yeah. So now we'll do some. We'll do a little bit of charming. So on my way through, I did look at the. What should we call it? I did look at the Goblin Gazugi ring. Or Gazooey ring, however you want to pronounce it. Let's be honest. Oh, that's handy. I thought that one would aggro, but it didn't. So we can just charm this guy. Off we go. Yeah, I kind of assumed it would be, you know, a big camp, and it is. So, yeah, that's just life. You know, I'll have to get it at some point. When things cool down. It's a bit like the Circlet of Shadows camp, I think, at the moment. There's lists and queues and stuff. I was watching a stream the other day where someone said they were kind of like in there for 50 hours. They got it eventually, but that's a big camp, you know. I think what I was talking about, I think it's what I was talking about on the video I did talking about, I'm not sure if it was that video actually, but I just did a video kind of just talking about general MMO play and kind of feeling a bit the same. I feel a bit the same with regards to sort of talking about Pantheon as well. There's a big bit of a mismatch here, which is always annoying. Yeah, where I coming onto Green Zone realise that there are some parts of Everquest that are just not for me. These take a long time to kill each other, don't they? I'm a serial rooter, so I'll keep rooting. That's quite nice actually. It's evening up a bit this fight. Yeah, just certain things that I'm not built for now. And as I said before, that does kind of negate my enjoyment. Not my enjoyment. It does kill my enthusiasm a bit, as I said before. And there's certain things you just can't do. I mean, my current plan, if it's something that would ever works, is to try to kind of, you know, I'm gonna enjoy things. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure how many hit points he's got, so I'm not sure. Just letting them go as low as possible is probably a good thing. I don't know what other people do at the moment. I've been putting mobs back to guard. Hit C 3 times, and then a break. I think I could probably just nuke this down. I think I've got it low enough so I can kill it with one anarchy. Yeah, there we go. I think the clerics drop some loot. Nothing amazing. As I was going to say before, this camp is, you know, it's fairly normal, mundane, average. I would say you're not going to get a lot of excitement here. You're not going to get any great loots. Yeah, but I enjoy it because it's just a place to come where I find it's quite relaxing, and generally it's pretty quiet. So you know, you haven't got too much competition going on. I've noticed that in camps in general, like I've parked my shaman at the the goblins in Lake of Ilomin. You know, the goblins that everyone fights because they're great experience at certain levels, and they're pretty open actually. I kind of feel at the moment I kind of feel that obviously I'm playing off peak, so that has an effect. But I feel that there's a large percentage of people currently just camping stuff. You know, they're camping all the legacy items and all the good items, I guess, for themselves, but also so that they can at some point kind of sell them. You know, I've noticed that I noticed you've got to be quick. Like I think I said in the previous video, I was trying to sell my shrunken goblin skull earring and finding it quite tricky. And what I'm finding is that people go to these camps as soon as the server opens, camp the stuff straight to EC, sell it for as much as they can, but eventually over the course of a week or two, quite quickly, the price drops because the market just gets saturated, you know, because there's so many people camping them. Things like Circlet of Shadow and Goblin Ring, you know, I imagine they're going to hold their price. But things like the Goblin Earring, where it's relatively easy to get. I mean, I ended up with like 3, I think. I didn't get the totem, unfortunately. I might go back and try and get it. But with things like with the earring, it's fairly easy to get. So you're only really going to get a good price in the early stages, really. Let's for a laugh. Let's try. I always try and do fights different ways sometimes because you kind of hope that it might go wrong, so then you've got to try and control the camp. It's good experience, but also just to test to see how spells work at certain levels. So I think we might have, let's have a look. Yeah, so those two are far enough away that I can charm one. One's calmed, so then I'll just pull them back out of range of that one. I think these are general spawn times, you know, so you're looking at 20 something minutes or whatever it is, 23, 22, 24 minutes or something, about that. Your standard dungeon. So I'll just pull these back. I'm not being as efficient as I could be. Just out of aggro range. Then it's root tash, and then just keep applying root, unless charm breaks. This is one of the things I enjoy most on an enchanter, is just going through a dungeon. Just all the mechanics involved. It's even good when you get charm breaks, you know, because it's another part of the game and more mechanics that you need to employ to just to get the fight under control. I'm not sure what level these are. Maybe they're at the lower end of blue for me, so they might not last particularly long. But I'm 43 moving into 44. So I'll get new spells next level, which will be a nice thing. We're going to might need to nuke a bit more with this one. A lot of space to work with in here as well, so it's quite nice. I think that one's kind of nukeable. Give myself a bit of time here. Root this one. Hopefully I can sneak around it. I'm not sure what other people do. I always try and kill the one off that's low on health first, just so I know that one's out of the way, rather than nuke this one and risk kind of breaking root, and then the other one breaks at the same time. That invariably happens all the time. So yeah. I was interested to watch enchanters and shamans play, how they do it from an enchanter point of view, because I'm playing an enchanter today. I'm always wondering at what point people find it's worth nuking a mob and then resting to get your back, or blurring a mob, you know, to get, as you can see, the loot is that's the loot basically. I think the clerics might drop a couple of magical items, but they're not very powerful as you would imagine. Yeah, I'm not quite sure at what point people do things. I always kind of try different things out and experiment to see where I am, or to see how. I guess like just trying different mechanics, pushing the mechanics, see what you can get away with, what you can't get away with, what's more efficient and what's less efficient. So I can't remember what I've got coming up around the corner, but I think what I'll probably do, what we'll do is we will let's charm this dude. I think it's a dude. And we'll have a look around the corner. A trick that not a trick, I mean a way that I would end up doing this on blue, where I was a bit more confident about, like the they're all rock shapers. There's a cleric, Cenobite. Yeah, the way I would kind of do this on blue eventually, when I was a bit more confident about the amount of mana I've got. My mana is still quite, you know, whoops. Oh, that's no good. Let's charm him again. Yeah, particularly if you get charm breaks. I'm finding that my intelligence is not particularly high, so mana is, you know, is in a bit of a not in short supply, but I try to be as efficient with it as I can, and because of that I try to. Did that not? Well, I'll be damned. I know what I did there. I pressed the wrong button. Yeah. I thought I cast Tash, but actually what I cast... No, I thought I cast Charm. Actually what I cast was Tash. Let's run off again. Yeah, so this will probably be the last fight before I rest for a bit. Because I think my mana will mostly be gone after this. He's broken. There's 2 breaks now, so yeah, slightly annoying. So what I want to do is only pull one of these. I'm pretty sure that is possible. Let's take a risk. Let's send him in. Yeah, okay, and then bring him back out again. Cool, okay, so that's pretty good. I wasn't sure about the pathing there. I was half expecting him to go running in. Sometimes they'll go running in. They won't take the most obvious path. That's annoying. So he keeps breaking, which is annoying. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, you know, I'm teaching to suck eggs at this point, but Everquest is like that, isn't it? You know, can I route him from here? I think so. Everquest, this is what Everquest is like, you know. And what I often find is, I'm sure there's some algorithm programmed in for this, but I will often find that things will start to break, and they will start to break worse for some reason. Maybe it just feels like that, but like when you've got less health. I was fighting some ogres, and I hadn't had any breaks hardly at all, and something happened, and I ended up very low health to a point where I was running away really slowly, and I kept rooting. I should have mezzed it really, but I kept rooting this ogre, and it just kept breaking. And I hadn't had that at all, like all day, but it just kept breaking. It just kept breaking and breaking and breaking root. Okay. Actually, that fight turned out pretty decent, apart from the fact that I don't have my nuke loaded. Another newbie mistake. Yeah, and it was amazing. I would root it, run away a bit, it would break, got a root off again, and it would break. And it was weird because it hadn't happened all day. It was only at that point it felt where, where I was in trouble, and there was almost like the game knew I was in trouble. It's really weird. I'd love to be able to dig into the code and look for these little anomalies that go on. Where's he coming? He's coming towards me. That's fine. Got enough mana for another nuke. I could have swapped to a lower level nuke there and finished him off, but I think we'll be resting at this point. Yeah. I think what I might do is just go back and sit at the start of this bit, wait for the two to spawn. I think spawn just about here. I think I will, just in this room, so I will sit up here. Yeah, that's it for you. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it though. Yeah, so I think, as I said, I keep saying, as I said in the previous video, I was kind of thinking about starting a Necro just to try something different. Because it's not that I'm fed up with a Shaman or Enchanter, but as I said before, with a Shaman, it's kind of reached a point where I'm just repeating myself. So at this point, just stop, because I'll be stopping the video. If you're not interested in listening to me repeat myself, turn off, because I will be stopping the video in about a minute's time. Yeah, so when you kind of get to a point where you realise there's certain things you can't do, I kind of lost enthusiasm, because progression at some point is just going to stop. I do think about things about joining a guild, trying to get like a tier when tiers come out for epics, when they're a bit easier to get. But then I kind of think to myself, well, there's going to be so many shaman that are going to want them for a period of time that even maybe paying for one is not going to be an easy thing to do. Saving up for torpor and that kind of thing. There's a lot of grinding involved there. Not to say that I wouldn't be prepared to do it, but I just think, as I think with an Enchanter and possibly a Necro as well, you can do more with less. There's less of at later levels. I was talking to someone in game about it actually. You kind of talking about should I, for soloing Shaman or Enchanter. And I think if you're in a guild and you like the Shaman, then and you feel that you'll be able to get torpor and your epic and whatnot. Yeah, it's not that I've ever had it, but from when I've seen the level 60 Shaman playing, it's a beautiful world, and I'd like to be in that world. But I think the reality is that with Necro and Enchanter, you can just do more with less. I think is probably the mantra. For those two classes, and the Necro has always appealed to me. I like the fact that you've got a fairly decent pet, but you can also charm, so you've got that option. You got your root rotting, you got your fear rotting, or fear kiting, whatever you want to call it as well. Yeah, so there are options there. I like the theme, I like the undead theme as well. I like the horror kind of lore aspect in real life. I'm into sort of like horror lore in real life, so it all kind of fits in quite nicely. Yeah, so that's a possibility, but I don't think I'll be neglecting this character. I guess what I'm kind of wondering is if I can get this character into a position where I can then kind of feed my shaman, maybe get this character into a position where I can camp a few items, maybe get myself into a plat position where I can maybe get a tier at some point further down the line, or get a torpor or something, and then kind of do that whole shaman, you know, dream thing that I've been trying to do for about 8 years now. But anyway, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of EverQuest gameplay. I know you all like it. And, yeah, thanks for watching.